Hey again, got a great replay for you. This game is going to be between myself as the Abbasid, and it's actually an exhibition match up against the Duke of Squirrel. This is a friend of mine who has a lot of experience with Age of Empires 2, probably more than me. Played a lot of ranked in AoE 2, and coming into AoE 4, he's enjoying it. He's playing as the Mongols for this exhibition game, and he's been pretty sheepish about playing Mongol. He played it, loved the style, and then after some Googling realized that they had the highest win rate, so he's almost apologetic about playing them. So he's at least a respectable Mongol player. So it's a pretty standard opening from me. Before the match, we actually shared some of our strategies, and I shared the details of mine. I wanted to try out a 2 town center in Age 2 like I've been normally doing. But then once I get the 2nd town center, start producing a standing army, move to the front of my enemy's base, tech up to Castle Age, and then the moment I hit Castle Age, put down a siege workshop right outside the enemy's base, and then start producing trebs and every other siege unit imaginable. When I play against Mongols, I tend to make an extra scout fairly early, just so I can get a look at what buildings they're putting down. I'm specifically looking for this Uvu and what is surrounding it. I see the town center, I see a pasture, I don't see a barracks. If you don't see a barracks, then that means you're probably not going to get tower rushed. If I had seen a barracks right here, I would have kept scouts sort of near the exits of his base, probably one here, one here. I would move my villagers from gold to wood or food, and I would watch these scouts, the exits of my enemy's base, and look for when 2 spearmen and a villager are sent out, and basically follow them with my scout. If you know where the tower rush is coming from, like what angle it's coming from, you know what to protect. In terms of a tower rush defense, probably have to throw a tower up near this gold and potentially near my wood line to keep the pressure off. But I'm not seeing that this game, so I'm going to go about my regular build order, but I'm going to keep my scouts nearby just in case I can spot what buildings he's tossing down near the Ovu. So I'm doing my normal build. I'm taking up the economic wing. I'm going to get fresh foodstuffs. I'm beginning mining stone, hoping to get the 300 and the 400 wood. Duke of Squirrel goes to the feudal age. He's using his Khan to scout out the area. I pull my villagers off of gold to fight the Khan. Honestly, I should have just kept them on gold. They don't do any damage to him. He doesn't do any damage to them. Might as well just keep them working. Put down an archery range. Usually I throw a barracks down first, but I didn't really think the spearmen were going to do well in this matchup. I mean, I stop it. I was tempted to make a barracks, but I stopped because I wanted to save my wood, and I didn't think spearmen would be too effective against Mangudai, the horse archers, or really archers in general. Gathering up the stone, almost there. I'm hopeful that around the 270, 280 mark, I just grab my villagers, return them to the mining camp, and then send them off somewhere else, probably to collect wood. No need to wait until they get all the way up to 300. So yeah, okay, perfect. Ideally, I would have the 400 wood right now, but I think I should have taken maybe a villager off of gold. So I have to wait around for this last 10 wood to trickle in. And it takes a long time. I'm just sitting here waiting until finally we get it. We drop the second town center down. Looking at my enemy's base, I'm seeing a archery range near the Ovu. That's telling me likely mass archers. My opponent admitted to enjoying the double production of archers. Perhaps the Mangadai will come, but it seems like just straight archers is what my opponent likes. I can actually see the archers going here. Really recommend keeping your scouts just on the fringes in the dark. They have a huge line of sight, so just put them at weird angles and you'll gain a lot of information. Looking back at this point in the game, I've got good information. I should probably rush to the Castle Age and try to get mangonels on the field. That would probably be the move. Got way too many villagers on gold. Would really like to see them switch over to a mill near these berries and these deer. I really don't need this excess of gold. Nice to have for maybe upgrades and whatnot, but I really don't need it. What I should be doing right now is putting down defenses and gaining food and gold to try and get to those mangadai, or the mangonels, because I can see his cluster of archers here. It's a sizable force. And the thing about archers is you can't really just trickle your troops against them. You have to send a big ball of units. I'm walling this off with wood. That'll at least force my opponent to get a blacksmith and research siege engineering. And I actually see his blacksmith as well. I knew he had it. After the game, he told me he primarily used it to get the range upgrade and range defense because he's only making archers right now. And he figures my only response to it will be archers. There's the food. Would have loved to see this earlier. This could have been done so much earlier, and there's truly no need for this many on wood either. While I'd like it to make more archers, honestly, maybe just like a few on stone and then put up some towers with the range upgrade. Something to have some kind of defense. Duke of Squirrel went with the deer stones. Pretty classic choice for Mongols, and he's just using it to I mean, he's not really using it for the yam enhancement. He's not making cavalry at the moment, just pumping out archers, but in the future he may go for it. I'm gonna look around for more trying to scout for more buildings. Not really seeing anything. Yep, there's the upgrades. And yes, the siege engineering. Not opting to go for the siege engineering improved. I honestly think this is great. Oh my gosh, can build trebuchets as well? I had no idea. Really like this. Being able to build mangonels in the field is just so good. But I would assume my opponent's using all of his wood primarily for pumping out double archers. Okay, I'm pulling more villagers, putting them on food, but gosh, I would really like to have seen it sooner. I should only be focusing on Castle Age at this point. Got the Golden Age tier 1 down, that's good. Scouting around. Find his con. He brings it in a little too close. It's a quick snipe. Even leaves us a nice sheep. I assume my opponent's going to come through this gap, especially since I've already blocked this off. So I keep my units here, and I'm really getting the food production up. That's good. Problem is, it looks like I'm spending a lot of it on archers, trying to keep up a sizable force. And I decide, okay, I remember his archer ball was fairly big. I bet I've got enough archers. I'll move out and I'll put a mill down here and just rally units to the mill. I figure it's a spot on the map that I could probably take. I'm not sure where his ball of archers are at. Spot some of them rallying, but I'm hoping to use these archers to harass his resource lines. Probably can't get at the wood pile, but I'm hoping to get maybe if he's taking advantage of any of this. His archers show up, and he's got 16 archers. I had produced 14. Probably would have been a good fight if I had ran into him. Instead, I lose several villagers, and he gets to work on a battering ram. So thinking about this, I lost maybe 4 villagers here. I'm hoping to similarly trade with my archers. That's a kill. That's a kill. Looks like 14 is like the exact amount I want for killing off villagers in one volley. That's good to know. I decided to split the archers here. I figure one can go around, look for soft targets. This one can go down here and look for something. Mostly just run into some rallying archers. Oh, get another villager there. That's good. And I have enough to tech up. I definitely want to go Culture Wing and try to get mangonels down, but I'm not sure if I'm going to have the chance to. He's got, oh, he has put villagers into his town center. That's why my archers are just crumbling. Looks like he wisely just took a lot off. I'm bracing for the eventual battering ram push that is likely coming my way. Yeah, he hits the castle age. I send my archers around to look for more targets. This is the group that went around. And I spot the steppe redo. Should have probably brought them down this way. Yeah, that's what I go for. Because there's probably a huge horde of villagers right here mining gold. Yep, there they all are. I really want to take this out. This is the spot for me to attack. So I decide, okay, maybe this force can clear out the archers which were here. And, oh, let's see if he cancels this battering ram. It's 300 wood. Oh, this is it. So I'm hopeful that these units can fight off his army, but really I should be focusing on getting gold. I only have 2 on gold. I need more on gold, less on food, so that I can get down some mangonels. Because here we're engaging with his army, and it's just a slaughter. The spearmen didn't even stand a chance. You can see them all clumped here. He's got 13 archers, maybe more. I'm trying to trade. He's building more siege units. Yeah, the spearmen are just useless. Meanwhile, I'm hoping to set up my forward base with a siege workshop, a tower, monastery, and eventually a castle. Now, I'm really just trickling units in here, and it's not going well. I thought that I could just rally units up here, thinking that they had this battle pretty much wrapped up, but that was not the case. I really should have been rallying units to here. And I'd like to see a defense put up there. And yeah, I've hit the castle age. Good, I'm going for the preservation of knowledge, but right now should be mangonel time. I need to get 400 wood, 200 gold. I'm almost there. I should really spend all my money on that. It's all he's got is archers. I try to collect back down here, but it's a pretty exposed position. Yeah, that's unfortunate. I had a bunch of villagers rallied there, and right when they get there, they have to be pulled off. It's a lot of lost mining time. I'm rallying a small force here. I decide this might be enough to get a forward base going. I really need to put pressure on the step redo or I'm just going to fall behind in the gold game. I decide out here is probably far enough. Honestly, I don't have to be that greedy with how far forward I put my forward base. I would hopefully have it like right here. That was my original intention, but honestly back here is not that bad. Putting it near a relic, a gold source, it's pretty good. I've put up a stone wall defense. The problem is my opponent is he still has a sizable force of archers. The battering ram's going to work, although I send a huge group of villagers to just burn it down and then go back to work. It's honestly a really good strategy if you have a second town center, because you can just produce them non-stop. The crossbowmen are probably not necessary. Should really just be making archers and man-at-arms. Kind of just trickling units in. Again, not the strategy to take against massed archers. You really want to gather up a ball and especially get a mangonel. Not sure where my gold went. Think it went to, yeah, making a trebuchet near his step redo. But I need to get gold and make mangonels. Mangonels were the answer to this attack, and I failed at it miserably. Sending in villagers again to burn down the battering ram, but I decide to back off. Again, I send a force in. This is not the move. Really need to just wait, assemble an army. It's great. I put my units on top of everyone, but here come lancers. We'll definitely need to mix spearmen into the army. But yeah, I need to maybe double wall and keep gathering my forces. I needed to delay this longer rather than just throw units at it. The other side, 2 archers randomly picking at my wall. I realized that with his army moving in here, I need to sort of pull back a lot of what I had here and recreate it towards the back of my base, or ideally out here. So I decide, let's get a mill over here and let's wall all this off and make it sort of a second area of my base. If I can hold this off, I mean, I'm only now realizing, oh, I need to gather my forces like at a spot way back in my base. He's trying to burn down the trebuchet, but with my villagers around, I can just repair it. He smartly targets the villager. I did not notice that. That's a great move from him. There's still 2 in this tower. Should probably pull them out and start repairing, but oh, look at the archers trying to take down a lancer. They just do no damage. Really need this Springald emplacement to finish. Then it'll snipe down his knight real quick. Yeah, that's good damage right there. Losing a lot here. Losing this trebuchet will be crushing. And interestingly, I'm not actually going to be able to accomplish anything. He's already mined out his gold. Look at all these idle villagers. The damage has already been done. He's already mined this out. He's going to try to relocate, probably forward to this gold cluster, so it's good that I'm mining this one out. He doesn't really have anything to deal with the tower, so I'm glad that this thing's going to stand for a while and shoot down his troops. Back at my base, the rams are doing damage to my military production. This one's just kind of hanging around, would like to see it maybe attack moved or maybe shift attack this. There we go. He's also building an outpost in here. I kind of like this. This will give good vision. And he can always retreat his archers into it. He's still producing a lot of them. 20 of them right now. Yeah, there it is. The step redo moves forward. Fortunately, I put a Springald emplacement on this, and the range is pretty big. Can probably hit some of these villagers here. Yeah, that's a one-shot every time. I'm getting villager kills. Oof, I like seeing that. course, meanwhile, back here, it's a hell of a fight. I'm going to likely lose this town center, which is going to be crushing. Having 2 town centers was likely a big advantage for me. At this point, there's a lot going on, and I'm curious about... Oh, I've got a mangonel, too. I need to pull that back here. Very curious about what's going on in the map, so I'm going to reveal everything. Okay, interesting. He's still making rams back here. Looks like in his base, he's wisely moved Gurs closer to the tree line. In terms of villager count, I'm at 55 with about 7 idle. He's at 40 with 7 idle. That's pretty revealing. I could have won this game if I had rallied further back in my base, delayed this attack more, and tried to make a big enough ball to knock his archer ball down. Really, I really could have pushed this back. I had a strong economy on the back end. Oof, the Golden Age Tier 1 is deactivated. That was surprising to me in this game. It turns out when you don't have enough buildings, you can actually regress and go back down. Now I figure I've got enough troops to make a counterattack. Push forward. Again, mangonel here would have solved a lot of issues. If some of these archers had maybe just spent some time making a mangonel, there wouldn't have been an issue. I'm losing my House of Wisdom, but I'm not too worried about it. The moment I knock down his archers, I'll be able to deal with the battering rams with probably villagers, if need be. Because I've still got 57 of them to his 36. Wow, he must have lost a lot of units here. Interesting how I have these horsemen and lancers. My opponent actually sent a large cavalry force in to start attacking here. I grabbed the relic sitting in the mosque and had my imam convert everyone. It was extremely effective. If only I had had a few more horsemen there. I'm glad to see the Steppe Redu not making money. It looks like my opponent was more pressed than I thought. Duke of Squirrel is starting to... Oof. Needs another lumber camp. Okay, that's good. Definitely needs to be pushing out more villagers. Let's see here. Going for another conversion here. Grab another lancer. Very convenient. And again, this tower's Springald emplacement was incredibly valuable. Re-walling, smart to do, and also gonna wall off this area as it's sort of become my new base. My economy's trying to balance out. I could probably transfer some from wood to gold. Would probably like to see a group of these villagers maybe moved over here, then some defenses thrown up. Villager count, 53, 38, still ahead economically. Let's check out income. The thing is, our income is fairly even because most of my villagers are either inefficiently mining or chopping. Okay, now the income's starting to pull ahead, but I was missing out on a lot. Would also like to see agriculture researched. I, in a desperate play, switched to farms, and I would really like to get that bonus gathering rate from farms. Also, like to see these units come forward to try and defend this region, or really defend this area down here. I'd also like to see the upgrade to veteran spearmen. It turns out my opponent was making lots and lots of lancers, and these have hard upgrades. Yeah, my opponent definitely did well on the blacksmith upgrades. Me, I really struggled with it. I was able to get the fast unit production and +1 attack for ranged units, but he's completely outflanking me, or completely out-teching me in the blacksmith technologies. Again, a lot of misrallies here. These man-at-arms, they're just sort of streaming into die. I figure this force could do pretty well, but I, again, need more spearmen. The crossbowmen are great. But yeah, these spearmen, they need to live a little bit longer to be effective. It's a good fight for me, I think. But I need more spearmen in the mix. These lancers have such good upgrades. The longer this fight goes on, the worse my chances are gonna be. Yep, the men-at-arm fall. These lancers, 230 health. I need just a horde of spearmen with upgrades to do damage to these guys. I figure I'm gonna lose my forward base, so I just sort of abandon it at this point. Step Redo is back to doing its thing. Look at that, 900 gold. Incredible. Me, I need to get people on gold. Got way too much on food. Good production coming along. Lots of spearmen coming, but I need that upgrade to veteran. And with only 2 people on gold, that's never going to happen. Got some units in the back of my base. Would like to see them rallied. Here, things go downhill for me. Yes, I have more income than him for food and wood, but his tech is just higher than mine. These lancers are incredibly upgraded. He's finishing out his upgrades for them. I'm losing my relic, which was a source of income for me. Oh, he's actually pulling some of them back. Very nice. Gonna stow them away in the prayer tent. Gave him more gold. His comp, more missed rallies. Lots of units just streaming to nowhere. I get a decent setup of pikemen. These spearmen are going to do well. They're finally veteran, but the archers are there too. And these are not upgraded spearmen. They're not going to do well. Really need mangonels, crossbowmen, spearmen. The mangonels would have been incredibly valuable. Nice setup here. Glad I was able to defend this area. More miss rallies from units. This crossbowman should just start firing. There's no need to get in. Yep, a lot of missed rallies here. Send a small force in though. The composition for me is starting to look correct, but the upgrades are not there. Breaking through this defense, my economy is exposed. From here, it's sort of a slow loss to this overwhelming force. The numbers look small, but these lancers are upgraded to the teeth. That's one thing I think my opponent did very well this game. Duke of Squirrel just completely maximized his blacksmith, whereas I really shorted myself on it. Considering I got the cheaper technologies upgrade from my House of Wisdom, would have really liked to see these researched. Some of these are so cheap. Look at how cheap some of these upgrades are. This would have increased the effectiveness of my spearmen a whole lot. I'm streaming units in, I just don't have the production to do it. Arguably could have rallied a little bit further back, built up a mass, let my opponent take this area, but when I saw him start to take down these stone walls, I figured it was over, because then he would have access to sort of both areas of my base. It's a good game. Overall, I would say I need to secure map control if I'm going to be doing a forward base like this. That said, the forward base, in retrospect, did really well. My opponent probably shouldn't have put the step redo here and had his villagers start mining in range of my tower, but I kind of liked it, especially the Imam with a relic. What a great zoning strategy. Anyway, thanks for tuning in. Hope you liked the game. Catch you next time.